Hi, I'm Brent Farris from the Beardman Studios, and I'm here to go over, to glaze over a few questions my friends had about SceneSync. So, if you don't know what SceneSync is, you should check out my last video on the introduction. It'll explain everything. It's basically a collaboration tool for you and a team of guys or girls or anybody that's working on your team on a game to work on the same scene at the same time inside of Unity. So I'm going to leave the rest of the explanation to the previous video, and I'm going to go over some of their questions. One of their questions were, in my demonstration I showed all built-in Unity stuff. I didn't show custom models, I didn't show animation and scripting, and I didn't show using external tools that you may download from the asset store. So I'm going to go over that first. So if I open up my scene that I have here, here's a level that I was playing around with on something else. If I hit play, you can see that I have a character moving before I hit play. You can also see that I'm using Scirpts here, which is an external tool, a visual scripting tool that I downloaded from the asset store, which you can see here that I'm controlling the camera with. So I'm using Scirpt to control my camera. So you can see if my player goes below the floor, the camera stops following him. And you can see there's fire coming down, and it's hitting the ground and catching things on fire. And I can put it out with my water guns, and I can fly with my water guns, and the tree catches on fire. And also, if I collect these little blue things, you'll see the rim lighting shader kind of increase, and then it'll slowly decrease over time. So you can see that's scripted out. You can see that the material gets darker as it burns more. And this, when it burns all the way up, it explodes like you saw there. There's more things to collect, and I guess you can see these are all imported FBX files with textures all custom and everything. I'm going to jump on over to the other side of this level over here because there's one more thing that I want to show, so I'm just going to run through this. Sorry, pet peeve, or habit, I guess, to collect that. So if I go to the other side of this level, you can see here that I'm using Unity's built-in animation to make this thing go up and down. So I'm using their built-in animation for that block. And yeah, so I'm going to show that all of this will come over inside of Scirpt. This fire stuff, the lighting, everything. All the custom stuff and scripting, external tools, textures, FBX, everything will come over inside of SceneSync. So I'm going to go to a new scene, and I'm going to open up SceneSync. I'm just going to dock it over here, and I'll save this level out. First I'm going to delete this camera because I'm going to be bringing a camera, so I'm going to save this level out as level underscore expansion. Naming convention doesn't matter, it just makes it easier to, when you're in a big team, to have the base level's name inside of your expansions. So inside of this level expansion, I'm going to create a few game objects, and I'm going to use custom game objects. I'm just going to drop these suckers in wherever I please. I guess a tree over here or something. Alright, that's cool. And then I'm going to select on level. I'm going to, well, first I'm going to save my scene for sync, so I get all of these objects as owned by this level here, the expansion. And now I'm going to click on my level, and I'm going to say load all except objects attached to the scene. I'm going to click that. You can see that everything comes in from the other scene. All my scripts, all my textures, all my lighting. The only thing that doesn't come in is my skybox. So that is because the skybox is set up in this render settings. However, if you manually set up a skybox, it'll come over as well. But I'm going to use the render settings for this one. So you can see now that if I hit play, first of all, I'm just going to drag this over and down so I can see it in my camera whenever I'm playing, but I'm going to hit play. You see that this rock's here and this rock's here, and I just drug this rock in. In fact, I can stick it over here. Let me center it a little bit. There we go. In fact, I can stick it in like that. You can also see my rim lighter shader is working. Things are catching on fire. I think it hit a rock. There we go. Things are catching on fire. I can jump on this rock that I just put in. It's fully working. These floors will still explode whenever they run out of health. So you can see that absolutely everything is brought over, minus Skybox, but we already explained that, why that is. So one more thing to show and prove to, all fully, is to go over to the animation that we had at the end. Sorry about this level. Takes a second to get from one side to the other, but you can see that absolutely everything came over, no problems. I added stuff to my scene, fully incorporated it. All of the scripting objects came over that I did in this scene, in this other scene. Oh, and here's my animation. So the animation is fully working, so you can see that everything is just working. All the external add-ons that I have come over, and everything imports correctly. So yeah, if you haven't seen SceneSync before this, you haven't seen this, check out the last video, which is an introduction. It'll explain the whole thing in a more obvious detail. It'll explain what things are, what buttons do, and yeah, so check it out. It's called SceneSync, and it will help you, like I said, collaborate with others in your team. You can all work on the same scene at the same time, import them all together, and do your light mapping and have your level done much faster than you normally would. So thanks for watching, and until next time.